All right, we're going to do a series of videos on the Airbus H145 by Hype Performance Group. I am sitting on the tarmac or the apron at an airport here, and we will load up a little custom mission, fly out to the scene, pick up the patient, transport them to the hospital, and unload them. And that'll start out this series on the H145. I don't have a long scripted thing set up. We're going to kind of just do this as we fly by the seat of our pants. But I want to highlight some of the stuff that we do with this helicopter when I'm flying it on the live streams on Twitch and TikTok. We've had a ton of awesome support with that. And there's some really cool stuff that you can do with some of the missions. So for this first one, I just have a very generic mission. It's a custom mission that I've set up. It's not going to be a very long flight for us, but we're going to jump into the startup procedure of the helicopter and get ourselves started up, taxi and depart. And then for the second and subsequent videos in the series, there'll be additional portions of the flight that we're going to continue doing from there as we continue on. So batteries on and engaged. We'll do our fire tests.
Fire. Engine 1 fire.
And that got really loud. Turn that down just a little bit.
Fire. Engine 2 fire. Audio test.
Check our lamps. Stuff looks good. Our anti-collision lights and our fuel prime pumps. Payload. $255 is too much. I don't want to waste too much time doing this, but voltage is good. Our payload is set. Fuel prime pumps are on. Our anti-collision lights are on. We're going to start engine 1. So we have the mission set up in the tablet, and while that's spooling up, N1's starting to rise right now. I'll just show you on the tablet here. There's a couple other options, things that you can do as far as the controls, whether aircraft damage is on, whether you want to simulate vortex ring state if you're flying outside of parameters. And then some of the other settings like hiding a portion of the pilot's body. It's very helpful when you're flying in VR. And then what equipment you actually have equipped on the helicopter. So in this case, we just turned on the hoist and the high intensity searchlight. Engine 1 is now over to idle. The starter is disengaged and N1 is up at 89%. We can start engine 2. See, that's starting to come up. While we're doing that, I'll turn on the radio. This has no effect on anything. This is the weather module. And that's the other radio. It doesn't really do anything for us at this point, but it's there visually for us to see in the sim. So in that mission system, we selected a mission. We'll highlight some of the custom stuff that some of the other third-party developers on top of this third-party developer have put together for user-generated missions. So engine 2 looks good. So fuel prime pumps can go off. Turn on our transfer pumps. The rest of our lights will come on. We will turn on the LABCS, heatostatic heat, standby battery, avionics, AC receptacles. We can check our hydraulics here real quick. We've got our warning there. That's come back up and going off. Watch for this one. Go there. And our startup test is okay. It's doing a pre-flight test right now. While we're doing that, we'll check the SAS. It's now engaged. It's suspended. It's off. It's back on. We're good there. It says 61 System 2 bus type open. I don't think I've had that error ever. Why would we be getting that? of course, once I load back into the
TOS,
game
system
here,
test okay.
we're going to get an error like that. Okay, bus ties are reset. I don't know why those came up, but you can see failures do happen with the system. Obviously, we would probably do a little more investigating of that issue. Where we actually flying? But I'm gonna just taxi. We'll do our departure, and then we'll probably finish this one up. I'll talk a little bit about the flight controls and how the simulator is. How this model of helicopter in the sim is actually set up very accurately for the actual controls and setup of the real life helicopter. So the developers have done a really good job with this. And it's got pretty advanced systems here. So the AFCS system, the Helionics with the H145 is all very accurately simulated. But we are going to climb out of here and start on our departure out for the other scene. Once we get going in the second video here, we'll talk a little bit about navigating some of the controls and what options you have with this helicopter when you're just kind of cruising along. It's got very advanced modeling and simulation of the actual helicopter. So I think that's going to do it for this one. Make sure you come back and find the next video in the series and any additional ones that we post on there. And if you have questions about this aircraft or the missions or anything like that that you see in these, make sure you drop a comment in there, and I'll try and cover it in a future video or reply back to your comment. I would also encourage you to come check out one of the lives, either on Twitch or TikTok. But we'll see you in the next one.